If I was going to survive, I needed to acclimatize myself as quickly as possible.
I suspect you may be an English spy.
Did Colum tell you to follow me?
There's a price on my head for murder.
I was attacked and nearly raped.
Who is it you're planning to do away with? Your husband, perhaps?
I believe that you have secrets, Claire.
Outlander, all new episodes Saturdays at 9 on Stars.
Welcome back to Balloonhead Productions. I'm your host as usual. My name is Marcelo Nostroza, and I'd like to welcome you to my watch along for Outlander Season 1, Episode 2, entitled Castle Leoch. All right, guys, if you've never been here for one of my watch alongs, this is the way that I do it. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be moving over to my streaming platform of choice where I'll be watching this episode. Once I get over there, I will give you guys a countdown from 3. I'll go in 3, 2, 1. And when I say play, that will give you the best opportunity to sync up with me at home if you choose to watch this episode along with me. And just a quick note, guys, before we start, all my watch alongs that I do here on my YouTube channel, I try to start on absolute zero. That way, for those of you, who choose to watch, but by doing it that way, I figure I give those of you who choose to watch the best opportunity to sync up with me at home. All right, guys. So enough chit chatter. In 3, 2, 1, play. This is obviously the recap. Yeah, guys, Outlander is one of my favorite shows of all time. I just love the mix between time travel, and I love the romance, and also I love the history in the show as well. Mhm. Also, the showrunner who created Outlander is Ronald D. Moore. He's one of my favorite showrunners of all time. And listen, I know that this song is overplayed, the Skyboat song, but this is actually my favorite iteration of the song. By the way, the score of the series is created by one of my favorite composers of all time, top 3, Ben McQuarrie. A talented and he's such a talented composer. Almost everything that he does has this propulsive beat to it. It's energizing, it's loud, and he does a really, really good job at eliciting an extra emotion that may not be present in the movie or TV show that you are watching. So what I'm trying to say is that his music adds to the material that he's working on. And to me, that's the mark of a good, solid composer. And yeah, Bear is just fucking great. Also, I love this shot of Scotland with Ronald D. Moore's title card there. It's a great shot. And of course, the Stones. They become iconic with Outlander. And also, I love this editorial choice of putting the episode title in the opening credits. I really, really love this. I really love that editorial choice that Outlander made uh, from day one, and they've continued to do it to this day. Of course, the production design in this show is absolutely amazing. They actually went to Scotland and shot this. The one thing that I will say is that when I initially watched this, when it first aired eons ago, I did find it a little difficult to understand the Gallic that they're gonna start speaking in a second. And also I think it was a really, really great choice for Ronald Moore and the other writers to maintain the voiceover in for Claire as a character because that gives the audience another way to connect with Claire. And also, I also love that by the characters talking Gaelic and Claire not understanding it, the audience is actually with Claire trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So in this instance, I love that the audience isn't ahead of Claire, that we are discovering things along with her. And also her voiceover gives us another ins gives us a little bit more insight into what's going on in her head and how she's processing the things that are happening around her. So in this instance, voiceover enhances 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 the viewing experience that we're having. And I love the way that Christina, sorry, I love the way that Christi I love the way that, Christina, uh, um, Katrina plays this. Katrina plays sorry. I had trouble saying her name there. Uh, mm. Also, Katrina Claire looks like a like she's so out of place here. She completely looks like a woman out of time. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Huh? Yep. Did she just did she just call her a no, she didn't. She's she's referring to something else. Because I thought that she just called her a hoe, but she obviously didn't. She obviously didn't. That was a that was a mistake on my part. Look at the inside of that castle, guys. And also, I love the editorial choice of flashing back to moments of the pilot because this really has to be disorienting for Claire because essentially she was just there yesterday, and this castle that she's in now that has life and that is full of people was abandoned and it looked like a ghost town, but now it's all brought to life. So this has to be a really disorienting experience for Claire when you think about it that Katrina and Sam are magnetic here. I believe that this was their first. Like, I believe that this was on the first day of shooting. I believe that this is one of the first things that they shot, and also that shot there is a really really good visual story point of saying of showing the brutality of the time. Mm. You're in a different time, Claire. Mm. Did she just okay? She dropped that. Okay. For what? What were they holding you prisoner for? See? She's got the same question. Obstruction. This this dialogue really, really does a great job of showing the oppression of the Scottish people by the English because obstruct ooh, no, and also, I love from editorial choice how Jamie's telling us the story and is switched to the actual flashback so we can find out why he was in prison in the first place. And, yeah, and the lovely character actor, Tobias Menzies, does a great job at playing Frank and playing Blackjack, and the way that he does it, he distincts the 2 characters completely, so it takes a really, really talented actor to play 2 different people and make them seem distinct, but he really does a wonderful job at doing it. And this is a really great job of illustrating the brutality of Outlander and how deliciously violent the series is. And this scene right here just tells you everything you need to know about Blackjack and his mindset and what he believes and the way that he treats the Scottish people, ultimately. Mm, oof. This is very, very traumatic. Ah, Jesus, it has to fucking hurt. Again, I love the way that Ronald D. Moore and his co-writer for this episode are really, really driving home, okay, this is the tone of the show that you're gonna get from now on, and it's really, really, really delicious. It's really delicious, and it's really, really visceral. And again, it does a great job at illustrating the type of character that Blackjack is, opposed to the type of character that Frank is, the one, Claire's husband at this point in the show that we met in the pilot. Mm, yeah. Also, the sincerity that Jamie's delivering this dialogue with is absolutely fantastic, and it's again letting us know of the hardships that, the Scottish people have endured, at the hands of the English in this series so far, which isn't a lot, but, it's a really, really, really nice way to give us an idea of the traumas and the hardships that Jamie has gone through. Mhm. Again, like I said in the opening, the voiceover gives us another layer into understanding what is going through Claire's head. And I, for one, for those of you, for I, for one, as a writer myself, I'm not particularly fond of voiceover in TV or film unless it's used well. And Outlander is one of those few examples that I found where voiceover is used extremely, extremely well to enhance your viewing experience and to give you a deeper look into what the character is going through. In this instance, it's the character of Claire. And watching this scene really, really, really is interesting because, you know, um, considering where these 2 characters go and considering how they fall in love, it's just really, really it's really, really interesting watching them at the beginning of their journey, and it's 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 gonna be so much fun to watch these wonderful characters fall in love again and to watch them eventually find solace in each other for what they're going through. But now, it's just, it's just a hi there, hello, nice to meet you. By the way, later on in the series, you're gonna be the love of my life. And the chemistry between Katrina and the chemistry that Katrina and it's just it's just wonderful. And also that line, tells you everything that you need to know about Jamie. Like like a Highlander, a high uh, a Scotsman of that era wouldn't say that, but the fact that Jamie said that, and just by the way he's talking to her, sets him apart from all the other, all the other Scottish men at that time. Colin, perhaps? Maybe. Mm, mm, yeah. Also, the music in the show is absolutely fantastic. I have accumulated all of the Outlander scores for each season to come out in my own playlist on Spotify. And I listen to music from the show constantly, almost daily because I love it so much. And the 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 music just the music just sinks you deeper into the story, and the music is really, really, really wonderful. And I'm that type of person that with certain music cues, I can, like, see exactly where that music cue is from in a movie or TV show. And every time I hear this specific music cue, I hear Claire waking up for the first time and finally getting into some period appropriate appropriate clothing. And of course, they didn't have brassieres in that time, so fucking funny. Beautiful woman. Mhm. Himself. Who's himself? Could that be Colin by any chance? I think so. Mm. Again, guys, again, her voiceover just gives you a better, idea of what's going on in her head as she walks through this world. As she walks through this world that she's unfamiliar with, and holy shit, he's got, some crazy looking legs there. Also, if you think about it, her the the fact that she is from the future gives her a heads up when interacting with people, but she has to actually be careful about what she says. But her knowledge of history is gonna help her out a little bit, but not but but not fully. And also, what Frank told her in the pilot episode is gonna give her also a heads up into how she divulges information to people who ask about her. Tell the truth, but tell the truth only to only as tell the truth, but only tell the truth to a certain point, or only tell the truth as much as you need to protect yourself. There you go, see? There we go. That's what I was talking about. See? Stick to the truth as much as humanly possible. Also, the photography is great here. Just that quick shot of Claire in the back. Her face is well lit. Just so well done. Oh, you bet he does. Yeah, yeah, Randall, Blackjack is not a gentleman. He only looks like a gentleman on the surface, but he is clearly a sick individual. By the way, guys, if you're watching this for the first time, I have seen the show before, but if you're watching along with me and you're watching for the first time, I will do my best to not divulge, story points as to where we're going or for other seasons in the future. I'll do my best because if you're watching this for the first time, I don't wanna f I don't wanna ruin where we are potentially going. It's not gonna be 5 days. Great shot. Great shot coming up here, guys. Wow. A beautiful country, man. Also, again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Her voiceover gives us gives us a deeper understanding of her emotional state. It's just wonderful. It's just she's so wonderful in this series. Mm. Love that shot. Love it. Also, I love the fact that the second Claire, stepped in, everybody in the castle just looked at her because, of course, she's a stranger and she's a mystery to everybody, and I just love this moment. It really makes Claire look like a fish out of water, and it also, must make her feel like she is, like, b it might make her feel really, really anxious when you think about it, yeah. Of course, Dougal being the gentleman there, pulling out the chair for her. Classic. Mm. Well, are they gonna yeah, uh, they're definitely gonna they're definitely gonna try and get her drunk here. He's trying to pump her for information, but the way he wants to get her drunk to get her probably to get her probably to misspeak at this point. They're 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 trying to poke holes in her story. I love this. And also, he's trying to, g you know, he's trying to get Claire off of her feet. Mhm. Mm. This this really small line here, displays the tension between Dougal and Colin, and the way that this develops throughout the rest of throughout the rest of season 1 is gonna be something to behold. The antagonistic relationship that two brothers have. And I'm telling you guys, he wants to get her drunk. He totally, absolutely wants to get her drunk. Mm. This is really, really putting Claire through her paces. Also, I love how Claire's reaction here, um, uh, you know, I love the small scene of Dougal playing with this kid in the courtyard from before. Makes Claire believe that this is actually Dougal's kid instead of, he's gonna say it in just a second, Colin's kid. And just how he looks, that the people in the castle are giving Claire are just are just great. They have to be thinking that they have to be thinking something to the effect of, "Oh, she's a squirrely one." Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh God. Also the costume design in the show is quite great. The costume designer of the show, I believe, for the first 4 years, is actually the wife of Ronald D. Moore. So yeah, I mean the costumes are really, really, really great and something to behold in the series. And it's interesting what Dougal said about Jamie before. I mean, Jamie is a member of the household, but he did indicate that Jamie, from a story perspective, maybe isn't welcome within the wall. So he is a family member, but not a family member. So yeah, so from a writer's perspective, that gives Jamie a sense of wonder and mystery that we're gonna find out. We're basically gonna find out where the Wonder mystery comes from with his character in just a few moments here. Yep. Here we go. I would say so. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So 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 what? He's been framed by the British? Again, this is a really really good um, way to you know I mean this is just so wonderful. I mean it's just a sit down with with these two people, basically giving you a sense of who they are and their history. It's really really well done by Ron G. Moore, who co-wrote this episode. No, it's not. So, in a sense, he's hiding out. So I like how from a narrative perspective, he's hiding out from the British, and Claire is in a similar situation in in that she is she is a woman out of time, and she, in her own right, doesn't belong there. Also, also, this is really great because Dougal doesn't trust her, and Dougal at one thinks that she's a spy, or Dougal is um, uh, suspicious of her true nature. Oh my god. I wouldn't talk back too much because you see, I told you. Yeah, Claire has to be careful here because she doesn't want to get shellacked by Dougal. She said, yeah. Oh look, it's Kayla Stuckett. This character is wicked. So I mean, look, yeah, it's Kayla Stuckett. If you've seen the show before, you know what kind of individual this woman is. She's a pill, to put it safely. Also, I love how. Sorry, everybody thinks that she's a spy, but she's far from it, guys. This is very like, yeah. Why would Oh no no no! Oh no no no! Gillis Gillis's dialogue is very pointed there because it seems that she's talking about herself, but she's not actually talking about herself. She's actually referring everything that she's saying onto Claire. But it's it's extremely passive aggressive when you think about it, or or at least I think it's passive aggressive. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And the whole like is a gathering of some sort. I mean, that's what it looks like we're having here. It's gotta be painful, man. Also, this is a great way to also indicate to the audience of the traditions of the traditions of the time. And Gillis is filling us in here, but it works because it works from a story perspective because Claire doesn't know any of the real traditions of this time. So it's exposition, but it's exposition that makes sense, and it's natural exposition. It's natural exposition, and again, having no translation for the galaxy spoken in this episode puts us in the shoes in the same shoes that Claire. So it's a fantastic it's a fantastic it's a fantastic choice by Ronald D. Moore and the other writers, and anything that the audience needs to know, Gillis can just uh, translate for us. And oh my God, that's Leary. Also, this moment really illustrates the audience what kind of man Jamie is, and this will start the sort of love thing that he had that Leary has for him. Also, that's a great way by Ronald D. Moore and his co-writer to establish the connection between Dougal and Jamie here. Ow! Sorry, guys, if you heard that. I kicked the box underneath my table here. Oof. Also, these quick shots um, back to Dougal there indicate that he it makes him seem a little bit more nefarious, and it makes him see that he wants to teach Jamie a lesson for some reason. So it really drapes Dougal with 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 suspicious intentions. Oh, you dirty bastard! Not the guy that punched him, Dougal, because Dougal knew that he was injured. What a prick! Oh, shit! Fuck! Don't move. Cool. Again, this entire scene also really shows you what kind of man Jamie is, and he's a man of honor, and he's a man of substance. Leary. Leary's going to become a problem, but that's years down the line. He, he wanted to say we're an embarrassment. I wouldn't, I wouldn't, I wouldn't say that. This is kind of squirrely. See, yes, this is very, very creepy. She's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Yeah, she's definitely not going anywhere, guys. She's stuck. She's gonna be stuck here. you, you rat bastard. Oh shit. Shit, man. Damn. She was this close, but no cigar, guys. But her knowledge as a nurse is going to help her get through these difficult times much easier than if she didn't have any knowledge for of being a nurse. But this must be. I mean, this is probably soul question for. No, this is soul question for Claire. There is no question about it. All right, guys, that'll do it for my watch along of Outlanders, season 1, episode 2, entitled Castle Leoch. In the comment section below, if you like this episode, tell me what you liked about it, or tell me what you didn't like about it. But before I go, as always, if you guys like to hear me chat and prattle on, I do have a podcast that I host with a dear friend of mine. It's called the Mixtape Podcast. On that podcast, we discuss film from a writer's perspective. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, I will leave the link to our YouTube channel in the comments in the description below, so you can go and check that out if you please. But until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and as I say often, I'll see you when I see you.
So much happened here, and so much is about to.